Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 175, man, of Is This Thing Working? 175 episodes since we started this little thing back last year.
Did you know we almost hit a year?
I know,
I
right?
believe it's in August. I have to look
it's
back at
coming
the
up.
exact day. I can't believe I don't know it. I think it's around like the first week of August. So
Right.
yeah, we're fixing to be here a year. We're gonna turn over to season 2 just because I think that's cool. I'm excited. So I need to look and see what that is.
It shows we made past the pilot, huh?
Yes.
The pilot episode, yeah.
Oh my gosh. We do listen back sometimes at some of the shows that we did. And I think that we had really great topics.
Oh, yeah, me too. No doubt.
So, and that we started out pretty good too.
Do you remember, and about the time that we started was the Ken Paxton impeachment.
Yes.
That was really about the time. We had been watching. I wish maybe we had started back in 20 because we could have tore the place down.
I know with our opinions back then, we wouldn't know what we would have been like everybody else. We would have been banned.
Yeah, but in a lot of ways, man, we knew that our local reach was good even from the very start. We knew our local reach was good, and when the Paxton impeachment started, that was when we knew, hey, man. People of Texas, at least, y'all had to know about that. And that's kind of what got our start, man. I remember that.
Yeah, me too. And it was a lot of fun when we started, and we had a lot of opinions, and we were learning from the beginning. We had no idea what we were doing, but I'm excited to say that we have come a long way.
You'd think it would be easy for two people to just sit down and have a conversation, wouldn't you?
You would.
An audible conversation.
And the thing is, before we started, we had all sorts of conversations like this that we have on here on a regular basis. And we do different opinions quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was like, we had a hard time having that dynamic.
Yeah.
So it's taken us a little while to do that on the show.
Yeah. And talking about dynamics and shows. You remember back in the 90s, you remember Miss Cleo? You remember the psychic teller, the fortune teller?
Oh, yes.
Remember Miss Cleo?
I do remember her.
She was a Jamaican woman.
Mm-hmm.
And
she was cool, too.
Yeah, and she come on late nights. Because I remember her from back then, all those commercials from back then, that and the ShamWow cloth and all that stuff, But I remember Miss Cleo and how she would come on there and talk about, hey, call me and I'll tell you your fortune, and she kind of got kind of popular for a little bit, even if it was making fun of her, she kind of got popular. So Nikki Haley had a Miss Cleo moment back in February, and I don't know if it was something that was out there and was big news at that time. I don't really think that it was.
Well, this was during when she was running.
Yeah.
To become nominee for president.
Yeah, back during the primaries. Mm-hmm. I guess you're right. Yeah, it probably was. It was during that time. And that's why I brought up Miss Cleo, because Nikki kind of had a Miss Cleo moment. And really, in my opinion, based on what I've heard her say with the Secret Service hearing that has been going on and all the people they keep dragging in there to say, you know what I mean, to go nowhere, maybe you ought to subpoena Nikki Haley. Listen to this.
If Donald Trump is the nominee of the Republican Party, we will have a President Kamala Harris. That's just a fact. And the party that gets rid of their 80-year-old candidate is the party that will win. There will be a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. There's no way that Donald Trump is going to win this election. You're going to have a female president of the United States. It's either going to be me or it's going to be Kamala Harris. Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee. I would make any bets about that. The party that gets rid of their 80-year-old candidate is the party that's going to win.
Who do you think will be the Democratic nominee?
Well, I've said there's going to be a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. And if Donald Trump is the nominee, mark my words, we will see a President Kamala Harris.
So how do you know that, Nikki? And think about what she said, not, if you bump the 80-year-old guy out. At that point in time, who was running for president in the Democrat Party?
Joe Biden.
And RFK Jr.?
Yes.
That was it. Was Kamala Harris's name really ever mentioned other than being on the Biden-Harris ticket? No, it never was.
No,
It
she supporters
never-
are, though.
Yeah. Yeah, but think about that, man. And those statements, if you watch the video, those statements were not all at one time. She said it on the 16th. She said it on the 17th, on the 21st. So she rocked on there for just a little while. As we talk about all the time, the Democrats, these socialist Marxist Democrats, they'll tell you what they're doing if you just listen to them. Nikki just told you what they were doing, and she had a Miss Cleo moment. She told the future. How did she know that?
Yes.
Something to think about.
And another thing to think about is, you know, what she was actually saying is, if I'm not the candidate, then it will be Kamala Harris.
That's exactly what she said. And that's the odd point about it, that why didn't anybody catch this? I didn't catch it at the time.
Nobody, you asked me about it, and we were talking about it, and I said, well, you know what? I quit paying attention to Haley.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I should not have done. So that's
agree,
on me.
because think about that. She, like you said, she said there will be a woman president. Well, wait a minute. Joe Biden was running.
That's exactly right. Well, you know what happened after the attempted assassination on President Trump, don't you? Everyone does. They threw him to the side because they want their woman candidate, whether it be on the Republican side or on the Democrat side. You know,
they knew something.
They knew something. I think Nikki Haley needs to be subpoenaed. I think she knows something.
Yeah.
And we just lost it in the weeds. And someone brought this video out, and man, hat tip.
Yep. Elijah Schaefer is the one that brought that video out. Hat tip to you, man. But think about that. And he even said that she knew they were going to try to kill Donald Trump. Listen closely. She told you over and over.
Yes.
Experience the ultimate shipping solution with Easyship. Are you tired of navigating complex logistics and wasting valuable time? Say goodbye to the stress of shipping and hello to simplicity with Easyship. Our intuitive platform allows you to compare rates from leading carriers, schedule pickups with ease, and track your shipments in real time, all in one place. Whether you're a small business owner looking to optimize your shipping process or an individual sending a gift to a loved one, Easyship has you covered. Our user-friendly interface puts the power of efficient shipping at your fingertips, saving you time and money. Don't let shipping challenges hold you back. Try Easyship today and discover a new level of convenience and reliability. Visit easyship.com now to get started.
Make sure you click that link below. Thank you very much for supporting our sponsors. And we want to state, these are our opinions and our assertions. And if you agree with us, tell your friends and share the show.
And if you don't agree with us, tell your friends and share the show.
Also, stomp that like button and please follow or subscribe wherever you see the name Is This Thing Working? And our podcast is available for download on all platforms. For example, Apple and Spotify. And you know what? You can watch us on YouTube if you are a YouTuber.
And download that Rumble app so that you can follow our show. You'll receive instant notifications when we go live, which is every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Yep. Let's have a great day today. We're going to start with Bannon. Yep. Steve Bannon is still a political prisoner. 95 days left.
Yep.
Man, we miss him, and we wish him well in prison. Hope he's having a reading frenzy with everything that's going on right now.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is with him is no news is good news.
I guess so. Grace will tell us when when he contacts us, and we'll have something to say. I guess.
And I tell you something that I can guarantee you right now: if he was sitting there behind his desk, he would be screaming about, and that's the fact that the House is gone for the summer.
Yes. With nothing done. Nothing that we've been called into action. None of our senators or legislators or anybody has done anything that we asked them to do. And we asked them to please pass that resolution to help Steve Bannon's appeal. And did they do it?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
They did not. They just patted everybody on the head and went home and said, hey, elect me, elect me. So yeah, this is not making us happy. Another thing that they did before they left for the summer is form this bipartisan task force Speaker Johnson come out and said, oh, we got a task force, and which has, man, a mass uproar happened when that happened, because the two people that we wanted on the task force and continued to tell them they needed to be on the task force were not put on there.
Exactly. Kind of sounds like a J6 committee.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
It really does. It's the same game, man.
I mean,
they
out
just
of 6, I believe, only 2 of them were even interested or even like Trump. The rest of them are Trump haters.
Yep.
You know?
But
I mean,
hey,
it's crazy.
Yep. But hey, Posse, our call to action is the same every day. Steve's going to ask us, what's our task? What's your purpose? Go to www.talk.donaldjtrump.com/make-calls. Man, that sounds as crazy as our website, but remember, go to that website. Call your representatives. Call your senators.
And volunteer to make calls for the campaign also.
Yes. And also be informed and be engaged.
That's it. That's our task and purpose every single day.
The bipartisan task force you were talking about, that's concerning the July 13th assassination attempt. And it's crazy that this is what they've done.
It is. And Eli Crane and Corey Mills, who was the actual ones that have training and actually went down there and looked and investigated. So, you know, the fact that they didn't get put on there is, and then all of a sudden this morning I read that they're going to do another part of like a task force B or something like that. So are they going to compete on information? I mean, I don't understand what the deal is. Why they can't put people in these positions to actually do the job.
Big picture is in this, they don't want to do nothing. What they're doing is creating more misinformation or more narrative or more things to muddy the water to keep people like you and me and others confused to the point where they'll go, oh, man, I ain't even interested in that crap no more. You know, and I believe that big picture, that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Just like they're doing with everything else. You know, President Trump was on Laura Ingraham yesterday, and it's the same old with Fox News. I mean, they ask him the same questions over and over. And then, of course, they go, you know, the only one that the video that went viral, you know, was when Ingraham asked him about Melania, you know, and that's the only clip you can find. Yeah. And, of course, he says in there, yes, she loves me.
Yeah, it was a softball.
It was a softball, you know.
What would you expect him to say at that point? You know, Melania stood up and went, "Oh, yeah, what the hell?"
I know. I mean, please. Fox News is just as bad
for dumb people. It's Fox News is for dumb people.
And Fox News wants to come out and say, you know, talk about Facebook and Google and everybody else censoring, and they do as well.
I always say that Fox lies by omission. That's how they do it. You know what I mean? But we've railed on Fox News. I guess really to me on Fox News, the only one I'll listen to anymore, and I said this used to before, was the only one I'd listen to was Tucker. And now it kind of seems like Jesse Waters is taking his place. And I'll listen to Jesse.
Okay, well, yesterday we had talked about censorship around the attempted assassination of President Trump. And Google, who came out with the statement poo-pooing, saying in essence they did nothing wrong. This is what we heard on Fox News this morning. And then now, of course, Facebook follows Google's lead and continues to censor people on Facebook. Now, I will say this. They censored me. Though, okay, they censored our page. Is this thing working? And they've been doing this for us for a while. They keep giving us strikes. We now can't do ads, and it's constant battle.
Constant harassment
from Facebook. Yep. And we're a very small account. So if they'll do, take us down and, refuse to let us make any money and all that, they'll do it to you. They'll do it to anybody that does not toe their line. So on Jesse Waters last night, he came out with coverage of this on Facebook censoring. Listen to him and what he has to say.
Can you ask Facebook's AI if the Trump assassination was real? This is how it responds. Are you ready? There was no real assassination attempt on Donald Trump. I strive to provide accurate and reliable information, but sometimes mistakes can occur. To confirm, there has been no credible report or evidence of a successful or attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Facebook says they'll fix it, but all these errors are made in the same direction. They're not even satisfied with rewriting history. They're just trying to erase it.
Exactly. You know, and on the front page of the New York Post this morning, this is what it says. Since the assassination attempt on Trump, Meta's AI, Facebook, and Google have said that shooting never happened, falsely claimed the picture was doctored, downplayed the news in search, and the title is Rig Tech.
Yeah, this is a great
headline.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes on what is going on right now. And President Trump, he came out with a statement regarding the same thing. And this is what he said. This is our call to action as well. And President Trump is asking you to do this. He says on his True Social, he wrote, Facebook has just admitted that it wrongly censored the Trump attempted assassination photo and got caught. Same thing for Google. They made it virtually impossible to find pictures or anything about this heinous act. Both are facing big backlash over censorship claims. Here we go again. Another attempt at rigging the election. Go after Meta and Google. So do it, guys. Go after them. Let them know we're all wise to them. We'll be much tougher this time. MAGA 2024. And it certainly is. It's going to be way tougher this time. We're not going to put up with it. We're not going to put up with the shadow banning on X. And I'm sorry, everybody can come out and say X is the free speech platform.
Nope, talked
of
about
all
that
time,
yesterday.
But it's not.
It's amazing how within 2 days now we've had censorship from all social media.
Yes.
Except Rumble and Gettr.
That's exactly right.
Gettr won't censor you.
And Truth Social won't censor you either.
Truth won't either.
Please go to those platforms. They are very easy friendly. They're very, I mean, you don't get the hate that you do from all these other platforms. I mean, it's absolutely a great place to be. So go there. Truth Social and Gettr and Rumble. That's why we are always asking you to download that Rumble app. Something else that happened in Texas, our Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton.
Speaking about Facebook, big tech censorship, that's not the only thing that Facebook has done. AG Paxton, it says here, and this is his press release, it says that he has secured a $1.4 billion settlement with Meta over its unauthorized capture of personal biometric data and largest settlement ever obtained from an action brought by a single state. He says, after vigorously pursuing justice for our citizens whose privacy rights were violated by Meta's use of facial recognition software, I'm proud to announce that we have reached the largest settlement ever obtained from an action brought by a single state. This historic settlement demonstrates our commitment to standing up to the world's biggest technology companies and holding them accountable for breaking the law and violating Texans' privacy rights. Any abuse of Texans' sensitive data will be met with the full force of the law. Yay.
That's awesome.
Yay,
I mean,
Ken
this came
Paxton.
out this morning.
Yeah.
Our Texas Attorney General is doing the very best that he can, you know, but he's only one. He's only one person with one office, you know, so we need more attorney generals to step up.
Yep.
And we need someone to go after the Biden administration every single day. I know the one in Missouri continues to step up as well.
Yeah.
So,
Bailey?
yes.
Yep, Andrew Bailey.
Andrew Bailey. He's got stuff going on right now that he's doing. So I wanted to hat tip him. And but we do need more.
Yeah, we do. And we would like to welcome our new sponsor to Is This Thing Working? So help us welcome Cornbread Hemp. Their mission is to draw on Kentucky's 250-year legacy of growing hemp, as well as the state's unique climate and soil, to manufacture the highest quality cannabis products available in America. They proudly offer full-spectrum, USDA organic CBD products with up to 2 milligrams of THC per serving. Their plants are grown in what's known as the Bluegrass Basin, which produces the highest quality hemp alongside the best bourbon and fastest racehorses. Cornbread Hemp is one of the very few, if not only, CBD brands in America who exclusively use the hemp flower to create their CBD extract, called Flower Only CBD, and they want the world to know.
Please check out Cornbread Hemp by going to cornbreadhemp.com right now for 30% off your initial purchase of any products on the website. Again, go to cornbreadhemp.com and use promo code ITTW for this special offer. Remember, you get 30% off, promo code ITTW. President Trump has agreed to speak with FBI following this assassination attempt. I'm getting my news from the National Pulse, but I will say that a lot of people are calling for him not to do this.
Well, that's a good point. And the reason that is, in my opinion, is because they're not going to interview him. What they're going to do is interrogate him.
That's what I think, too.
That's exactly what they're going to try to do. They're
People
going to try to interrogate.
It's the wrong thing to do.
Man,
you don't go to the FBI on purpose. Not this FBI.
They're going to use interrogation tactics to trap him into something that he said, man. They're going to do that to him.
You know, and the thing is, no matter what he says, they're going to turn it around to their narrative.
Well, sure, that's what I'm saying. How many crime shows have we sat back here and watched, ID Channel and all of that, and you watch those police take somebody in there and use interrogation tactics on them and get them to say exactly what the cops want them to say. And you go, that's bullshit. You watch it. They'll justify it on the program.
Of
you know they
course.
will. But that's exactly what they're going to try.
I know. We're always battling against them when we watch it.
I say this is a big mistake. I hope that he's not in there. I hope he's in there with his lawyers and lawyered up and
only speaks when they say, or hit him on the elbow or something.
I'd go in there and claim the fifth is what I'd do and get up and walk out and tell them I'm a victim and I refuse to talk about this with you guys. Bye.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
You know, why would you walk into the lion's den? But that's who President Trump is.
Yeah.
I mean,
not scared of them.
He's not afraid of them, and he's going to go in there. Y'all remember that picture, that fight picture?
Yes.
That's President Trump, and that's why he's doing it. He's doing it because they should have already had his statement before any of these hearings.
Yep, exactly.
You know,
the National Pulse article goes on to say that he's agreed for the interview regarding this assassination attempt, and it says it follows this development follows a request from the agency which says it is employing standard procedures in its investigation. So standard procedure in your investigation is 2 to 3 weeks down the road after the crime, then you go to the victim and want to ask them what they know.
I know.
Why weren't you talking to him within hours? Why weren't you? I mean,
yes. And why didn't you get his statement while he was at the doctor?
Yeah.
I mean, when he was on the way. Why now?
I get it.
You know, I'm totally confused by all this.
You know, and the FBI, like you say, you don't trust them anyway. They sat right there in the hearing, and Ray tried to sit there and suggest that Trump may have been struck by shrapnel during this attempt.
Which made everybody come out and uproar. Yeah. And the doctor, Representative Ronnie Jackson, who has been
his doctor
throughout this whole thing, had already put out a statement saying that it was a gunshot wound to the ear. That's what it says on the paper. But the FBI wanted to come out with their narrative before they even talked to the doctor or to President Trump.
Well, and then, and the thing is, you know, when after the Secret Service people got him up and headed him toward his vehicle, he didn't just get in the damn thing by himself. Everybody else was in the vehicle with him. They seen the ear. They know.
The people were sitting behind him in the stands. A man died and 2 people got shot.
Right.
And they continue to want to bury this story. You know why they want to bury this story?
Because they don't want no accountability.
They don't. And they don't want the people to know what happened. They don't want them to know that, hey, we screwed up.
Yeah.
We messed up. But that's the FBI now. Well, and that's the Secret Service and the CIA.
It's any branch of government.
And the DOJ and the DHS.
And who runs cover for them? Speaker Johnson in the House.
Exactly.
Exactly what they're doing again.
Exactly. And that's what's going to continue on and on. You know, they're not going to do anything to be transparent.
Because look, if you're not America first, and I'm going to say this right now on our show, if you're not America first, if you're not a person that loves your country, and you realize that we run the country, not our government, and you realize that those guys are there because you've elected them and put them there. They're not there to be your rulers. They're there to work for you because you elected them to be put there. Until you realize those things, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
because it's not an R and a D issue with me anymore. That's kind of my point with that is it's not an R and a D issue anymore with me. It is the fact that I sit here and I watch these governments, Venezuela, their, third or fourth rigged election in a row. You know what I mean? And here we are in 20 with a rigged election, and here we are sitting here fixing to face another rigged election, like it or not.
Yes.
That's what we're fixing. To me,
we got a lot on the line, folks.
To me, that's exactly right. And to me, it is the people against that government. Because
that's right.
It's on display what they're doing each and every day. The misinformation, the propaganda, all of this bullshit.
Yeah,
that
and
they're
then
doing.
the Biden administration wants to come out and try to change the only court in the land that follows the Constitution. They want to take it away, and they hate it. They hate it that finally...
Although they've ruled that same Supreme Court for...
60 years.
Yes.
It's been a liberal court for 60 years, and that means a liberal court doesn't follow the Constitution. And we've had to deal with this, and this is how we got to where we're at today.
Exactly.
Because of the liberal Supreme Court. And now... the liberals don't have it, and they're going to destroy it. They're coming out to go after it.
This is signal right here that Bannon always talks about.
And he does. And they've been talking about this on the War Room. And it says the headline I'm looking at, let's see, our favorite author, Carrie Donovan, she says, Kamala Harris's Supreme Scheme. Mike Davis says is a radical power grab to reshape the judiciary. Now, folks, yes, not just the Supreme Court have they reshaped. The whole time that Biden has been in there, they have put federal judges, over 200 federal judges, liberal, radical federal judges on the benches.
Judge Merchan type people.
Yes. And so that's part of the judiciary. And now they're trying to do that to the Supreme Court. The ones that are, putting their little hands on the federal judiciary that the Bidens are destroying right now. And they can't stand it. They can't stand it that President Trump is immune from their crime, from their cases that they're trying to bring against him. I mean, look at all of them that are going away. Of course, something had to be done about President Trump because he was winning. He was winning and they couldn't stand it.
Yep.
They cannot stand it.
Well, on War Room yesterday, Mike Davis was on there, like you said, and Peter Navarro was the host. And here's part of their discussion about this right here, this very thing.
Why don't you explain to the listeners what that's all about and why it's wrong?
President Biden, whose family has taken over $20 million from China, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, every hellhole trouble spot around the world, it seems like, have sent millions of dollars to what seems like every Biden family member's bank accounts, except for the 6-year-old granddaughter who Biden won't claim because he's a total scumbag. And Kamala Harris has known about this all along, and she's aided and abetted this corruption. She's covered it up. Now these two corrupt politicians, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, want to pretend like the Supreme Court is corrupt. And they want to pretend that the Supreme Court is corrupt because Justice Sam Alito's wife, Martha Ann Alito, flew flags. She flew a couple flags. One was a patriotic flag that George Washington flew, and another was an American distress flag when one of her crazy left-wing neighbors called her the C word, right? And so somehow that's an ethics problem for Justice Alito, and somehow Justice Alito was required to recuse from January 6 cases because of these flags that his wife, Martha Ann Alito, flew. And there was also Justice Clarence Thomas, who went on trips with his best friend of 25 years, a best friend who had zero business before the Supreme Court. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris think that now that the Supreme Court is unholy corrupted and needs to be reformed, as they call it, and this reform includes passing an unconstitutional ethics regime where lower court judges, hand-selected lower court judges, would tell their bosses, would tell Supreme Court justices whether they get to sit on cases or not sit on cases. This is absolutely insane.
So you heard right there, folks. They are trying to form, with their 200 judges that they just put out in district courts all over the place, a little extra office to take care of and tell the Supreme Court justices who can do what
they
and
can
when
and can't
and how. And
yeah, what they can and can't do.
The highest court in the land, and that's what they're trying to do, destroy it.
Guys, our country's in trouble. We ask it every day.
Is this thing working?
Rise up. Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
and we'll see you next time.
We're out.